Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Pilar. I just got a call from my granddaughter. She is 4.5 and living in San Francisco. And she said, "It is the worst day of my life today." And I said, "What did happen?" And she said, "I didn't get a plaster and my sister got one." And I thought, well, entering this room, this is the worst moment in, well, not my life, but anyhow in this period of life. For with such a distinguished audience, with such nice hosts, and I'm delighted that I'm not paying the bill. And having said that, we are grateful for your hospitality, but I can imagine that with all those speeches, you would prefer just to chat and to do business with each other. So taking into account that even if you think it's the worst day of the week, it isn't, for I find it a pleasure to be in your midst. And what I have in mind, just to tell you a little bit more about where we are on the digital agenda for Europe. And then please just keep your patience and for a drink afterwards. A good time, because we are more or less midway through this Commission's mandate. And a good time, because over the next 2 days, we are getting all our stakeholders together for the Digital Agenda Assembly. So today, I want to give you just a sneak preview of what I'm going to say there. So you are in a privileged position, so to say. In Europe today, we face a number of pressures. No news for you. We need, by the way, urgently need, to find the long-term sources of growth to maintain our quality of life. And to offer stability, to offer jobs to the next generation, we need to take up, to provide for a population that's getting older. They are getting the bill, so to say. And to manage energy resources as fuel costs rise, climate change happens, and so on and so forth. And to respond to a growing political awareness that the internet matters. Because our citizens are taking care deeply about the rules that apply online, and they are not afraid to show it anymore. So that is a positive point. Well, I don't need to explain here that to stay competitive and ahead of the pack, to solve all those problems, we need to invest in ICT, invest financially and invest politically. And therefore I'm delighted, Pilar, that it is a joint effort that is at stake. Because broadband can boost growth, and we all are aware 10 percentage points more penetration means 1 to 1.5% more on GDP. Well, that is what we are looking for. And ICT can provide jobs. By 2015, and it is just one breath, so to say, we face a shortage of 700,000 jobs for skilled ICT workers, even as we face mass unemployment. So how can we explain to the outside world that on one hand we are really worried about the youth unemployment that is absolutely unacceptable, and on the other hand that the business world, you are asking for skilled labor and talking about 700,000, that is not just a small bit. For our aging population, e-health innovations can help our older citizens maintain their dignity, and we are all far away from that moment, but I can assure you at a certain moment, you and I are also in that category. And then we want independence, and then we want a better health for longer, so to say. And ICT, by the way, can help manage many other challenges, from new ways to deliver education, to new ways to deliver electricity, and so forth and so on. The rest of the world is fully aware of this. And that is where I sometimes think just keep dreaming, but it is long enough. We need to awake now. For the rest of the world is investing at the moment in a digital future, and we need to keep up with that speed. The USA already has 50% more ICT capital than Europe, and look how much innovation they enjoy over there. Or look at the People's Republic of China. This year alone, 35 million families will be connected with high speed to the home. Or look at the connectivity they enjoy in South Korea or Japan. And our continent shouldn't remain a digital slow coach, a relic of a past era. We badly need those tools as a springboard for innovation to harness our own great ideas. And that is why our digital agenda is so important. And I was quite, how do I say it in a diplomatic wording? I was quite surprised when one of you was asking me 10 minutes ago, are you still on the line for your 2020 targets? And I thought, by the way, what do you have in mind for? And I said, of course we are. For I promised it to Parliament, I promised it to the councils, and I promised it to the European people. And he said, isn't that a bit too slow what you have promised? And he was not talking about the implementation. And that was clear, he was talking about, is that enough what you did promise? And that is stimulating me. So anyhow, it is not the worst day of the week. It is the day that I was again put in a mood that I certainly will take up with all those in Parliament who are on the same page, so to say. For remember, and that is one of those issues, that the single market in itself is a crown jewel in Europe, and that we have to think of that and serve us in the future. It needs to be an online single market. And that means bringing down all the barriers that imposes extra complexity and extra cost when you try and do business. Mobile roaming costs were the most visible and irritating barrier, but not the only one. And Parliament was quite active in that field. Let's bring the others down too. Let's make it easier to access data cheaply wherever you are, and easier to transact online across borders. From coordinated spectrum policy to reformed copyright and licensing to public sector data that's cheap and freely available. And later this year, over 2 years in, we shall be reviewing the digital agenda. And I am not going to change a winning formula only if I get your backing to hire it up. Then we are talking, but let's first think that we have a responsibility to go for the formula that we did discuss. Our agenda will deliver it. But I want, and I do want to strengthen it and to focus even more on a few key priorities. For me, there are 5. First, let's get ahead of the game on the cloud. Challenging. Cloud benefits are huge. Some say even 2,000 euros per citizen over 5 years. Well, that's not coffee money, so to say. No wonder it offers a cheap, flexible way for small businesses to get IT infrastructure and services. Plus, it could transform other sectors from public services to science, to music. Here is an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to create a single, seamless space for digital content to flow within our internal market and boost our competitiveness. Make no mistake, if we limit our ambition to national clouds constrained by national rules, we aren't doing ourselves justice. And second, let's keep the internet secure and open. This network wasn't built with security in mind. We all are aware of that. But the more we depend on the internet, the more we depend on its security. And we need a European approach to this too. One where we can manage risk and defend ourselves without fragmenting our internal market. Third, let's deliver fast broadband for all. Only then we can ensure everyone can connect to our digital single market and benefit from all those great new services. And partly that is about encouraging private investment through an environment that's certain, that's consistent, and that is competitive. Partly it's about sensible spectrum management for wireless broadband. But most of all, it needs this the legislator to unlock the billions of euros we have set aside with the Connecting Europe facility, which will in turn unlock billions more in leverage private finance. And overall, it could mean 45 million more households connected to high-speed broadband. Fourth, I'm nearby there, so let's stimulate innovation and entrepreneurship, including through revamped European research and innovation programs, and by supporting Europe's young entrepreneurs, giving them the recognition and resources they need. And fifth, let's use ICT to boost the quality and efficiency of public services, especially across borders. Because, ladies and gentlemen, e-government can make life easier for our citizens while also saving public money. Again, financing through the Connecting Europe facility will help to build those high-quality cross-border services. And don't listen to those who are mentioning that they don't need it. I'm not in for that argument. For if you are not spending your money yourself, don't quit the other ones. When those ingredients, we can build a digital single market that puts Europe in a better place to compete and in a better place to respond to all the challenges we face today. By the way, 2012 is an important year. This year and next, we have some big decisions to make and some big opportunities to seize. And I'm delighted EIF has surveyed its members on their views about Europe's digital transformation. In many ways, the results confirm my own view. Europe is not way behind. In some areas, indeed, we are doing okay, but we do need to pick up the pace, working urgently, seriously, and rapidly. And let's not hide from the new realities. Let's not put our heads in the sand and hope that all the change and disruption goes away. Let's make the right decisions, the ones that support our future growth. And you know what happens when there is a big change and you fail to adapt. Well, you don't have to go very far to find out. Look at the dinosaurs they have in this very building. They had a big change, a really earth-shattering one, and they didn't last long. And all that's left of them is a pile of bones. And in 10, 20, 50 years' time, I want historians to look back at Europe and see something better than that pile of bones. And I want them to see a continent that saw the opportunity of a digital revolution and a continent that seized it. One that made it sure. It invested for the future, one that equipped itself with the right networks and frameworks, one that worked together and looked ahead. So up to us, you and me, myself. Let's take our place on a competitive world stage. Let's work together to get every European digital, every European connected. Future generations will thank us. And if I had a glass, I would raise it on our cooperation. Thank you.